I was trying to focus on work, searching for a new beginning. It had been a few months since my separation, but the emptiness still weighed heavily on me. Work had become my only refuge, a place where I could lose myself in tasks and forget. But today, as I worked through my files, I noticed my manager, Matt, watching me. Our eyes met, and I felt a spark, a warmth I hadn't felt in ages. His gaze lingered, giving me an unexpected sense of strength. Matt was always respectful and kind, never crossing the line. Outside of work, we rarely exchanged more than friendly nods. But there was an invisible bond between us. Slowly, his presence became something I looked forward to. His reassuring smile, his calm voice, they became a strange comfort in my life. I began to feel a pull toward him, something I hadn't expected, yet he remained professionally composed, as if nothing had changed. One evening, after staying late to finish a project, we found ourselves alone in the quiet office. Time slipped by without us noticing. Matt suddenly looked up from his papers, his eyes soft as he asked, "Is everything all right?" That simple question struck a chord in me, and I felt the emotions I'd been hiding for so long threatening to spill over. Tears filled my eyes, but for the first time, they weren't from pain. They were from a relief I hadn't realized I needed. In that moment, Matt's gaze said it all. "I'm here. I see you." He reached out, his hand grazing mine. The touch was light, yet it sparked something deep within me, an unspoken connection that felt far more than friendship. His fingers lingered on mine, and I realized how close we had become, even in silence. The tension between us was unmistakable. For the first time, I wanted to let down my guard and let him see the real me. I found myself opening up about my separation, the emptiness, and my struggle to rebuild myself. Matt listened, saying nothing, only holding my hand and nodding, his silent understanding a balm to my weary heart. There was no judgment, no pity, just a warmth that made me feel truly seen for the first time in months. In his presence, I felt safe, something I hadn't realized I was craving. My heart began to awaken, slowly, with every glance and gentle word. In the days that followed, Matt and I began meeting for coffee outside work. We shared long conversations that stretched into the evening, our laughter echoing into the night. Each shared glance, every gentle touch brought us closer. One evening, we met at a quiet cafe. The dim lighting softened his features, his eyes meeting mine across the table, a silent invitation. Slowly, he reached across, his hand brushing my cheek in a way that made my heart race. It was a touch that spoke of everything we hadn't dared to say aloud. The warmth of his hand lingered on my cheek as he leaned closer. His breath, warm and soft, brushed against my skin, sending a shiver down my spine. "Maybe I was meant to know you," he whispered, his voice low and filled with longing. "You're the piece I didn't know I was missing." His words pierced through me, and before I could think, I leaned toward him. Our lips met in a slow, passionate kiss, one that held all the unsaid words, all the months of yearning. His hand slid to my waist, pulling me closer, deepening our kiss. Time melted away. It was just him and me, lost in a moment that felt both forbidden and inevitable. The world faded around us as we broke away, breathless. His gaze held mine, and in that moment, everything felt right. "I don't think I'll ever be the same after this," he murmured, his fingers tracing gentle patterns along my arm, sending waves of warmth through me. I smiled, my heart racing as I whispered back, "Neither will I." This night had opened a door I never expected, but one I was finally ready to walk through. As I left that night, my heart was lighter, my soul fuller. The pain of my past had been replaced with the warmth of new beginnings,